All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to come here on a Thursday evening. The weather hasn't been too bad this week, I don't think. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and I'm going to be going through the DuePoint business and our system for the next 60 minutes or so, after which you're welcome to come speak to me or ask me any questions that you might have. Are you ready to begin? Got a couple of people grabbing a seat at the back there. Okay, let's begin. So as I said, you're here at DuePoint's head office. We're actually a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. They are a registered insurance company, as are we. Constantia was founded a very long time ago, almost 70 years ago, 1952, so they've been around for a very long time. This is their building in the background. They're based down the road from us in Randburg. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there. Obviously, we are an insurance business. Very important that we oblige with all the FSP regulation. You'll notice in the foyer above the water cooler, we've got a whole bunch of certificates up. Those are FSP licenses. We've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license, and we've got our FSP license, and we've also got our accreditation with the direct marketing and the direct selling associations. At this stage of the presentation, it's obviously very important that we start building credibility in your eyes. We take credibility very seriously here at DuePoint, and so you're welcome to go do a background check on Constantia if you like. We listed under the Joburg Stock Exchange under a company called Conduit Capital, and like I said, we've been around for a very long time. Constantia played a fundamental role in developing the insurance industry in the last half century or so. These are the executives and the senior managers here at DuePoint. The three individuals on the far left are all registered chartered accountants. Sounds very fancy. That's our senior executive, Brendan, on the far left. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because his family have been entrenched in insurance his entire life. His father's a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. As a family, they founded a number of financial service-based businesses globally. Brendan and his brother Stuart founded Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD, which is based down the road from us. I think they're the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country at this stage. So they've had a lot of success in the financial service space. Tim Reynolds, he's got a lot of experience in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for a number of years, fairly senior position he had there, reporting directly to the executive board. He heads up our financial, our regulatory, our accounting, auditing aspects here in this business. Stacey supports him in that role. She's got a lot of experience in auditing with Deloitte, primarily, locally as well as abroad. She came back to South Africa recently and joined the team here. So those are the accountants, the boring, stuffy people. These two are the non-accountants, the fun people, the energy of the business. Right? I think the accountants started this business to make friends. So we're helping them. So Jane and I are the non-accountants. Jane's got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling. She hails from the Yorkshire area in the UK, so if you get to speak to her, she's always around, you get to speak to her, you'll notice she's got a Yorkshire accent. But even though we're an insurance business, our growth is very much predicated on the marketing of this business, and we employ referral or network marketing to grow this business. And so Jane's experience is very important to us. And then myself, I've been working in marketing and advertising for the majority of my career. I started a digital agency in the late 90s when the internet was booming. Remember those days when your little modem on your desk made a hell of a noise? Those are the days when I started my company. We focused primarily on digital marketing in the digital space, and I ran that business fairly successfully for almost 20 years, but I decided to exit that business, and I joined the team here at DuePoint, and I'll touch on one of the primary reasons why I exited that business a couple of years ago. So that's the team. Again, I hope that the team lends credibility to this proposed partnership that we're going to be speaking about. You're welcome to go do background checks on us. I think most of us are on LinkedIn or Facebook. Don't Facebook stalk us, please. But our profiles are up on the website. And our mandate here as staff of the business is to support the people that join this company, or at least partner with us. It's in our interest to see you guys as successful and as effective as possible in this business endeavor, because as an enterprise, as a business, DuePoint can only be successful if the people that join our business are successful. And so it's good to know for you that we have this vested interest in your success. When you speak about any partnership, it's always important to know that all the partners in this endeavor are working together, that they're collaborating together for a common goal. Okay, so why are we here on a Thursday evening? Thursday evening, you find yourself in a presentation. You might have been offered free tea and coffee and then got ambushed with the presentation. Or you're interested in the entrepreneurial opportunity that the person that invited you alluded to. But we like to look at some of the driving factors or the driving behavior, why people would suddenly have this need to step out of employment and go, well, not step out of employment, but to look over and above employment for other income opportunities. And I kind of discussed three aspects. The one is the economy. Anyone happy with the economy currently? No? There's nothing to be happy about in the current economy. I didn't think it could get worse after last year. Last year, we quoted the dismal growth rate of the economy, which was 0.3%. And the last 6 months has actually gone into negative territory. So we're in a technical recession and have been for the last 6 months. And the economy plays out in a number of ways personally in our lives individually. We see it primarily in the form of unemployment or retrenchment that takes place. We've got about 9 million people sitting at home willing and able to work, but who cannot find jobs. That's 50%, more than 50% of our workforce. We've got about 800,000 kids coming out of school every year into an environment where there's no jobs for them. And the situation's not getting any better. There's no prospect of the economy improving in the next year or so. So certainly nothing we can depend on. The other aspect that we discuss is the 4-letter word that you see up on the screen there. Do you see it? It's staring back at you. Because it loves you, and we love it, right? Because we get a lot of statistics from the FSB that shows that people love debt in South Africa. You love it, because you have so much of it, and you keep asking for more. We live in a culture where we are indebted for the majority of our lives. The average South African only starts looking beyond debt at investments and savings products only once they get to their 50s. 50s. That is a little leap away from retirement, and it is far too late to start looking at investment and savings products. We are afforded debt the moment we earn a salary, typically. So think back to that first paycheck you got. It probably got deposited into a bank account, and when it got placed into that bank account, financial service providers and a host of other businesses flagged you as a wonderfully potential client because they knew you were going to get paid a salary every month. And if you're getting paid a salary every month, there's a good chance that company can debit you for products and services on a regular basis. And South Africans will engage in a host of different debt instruments. Credit cards, right? Everyone's got a credit card. You need at least 3 or 4 credit cards, one from every bank in the country. And they seem to just offer more and more credit cards. They don't seem to slow down. We've got home loans, we've got car loans, we've got personal loans, educational loans. You've got Woolworths cards, Edgar's cards, micro loans, hire purchase contracts, a plethora of different debt instruments. And debt is actually crippling from a personal finance point of view. We don't really understand it because you start kind of becoming indebted, like I said, the moment you start earning a salary. Think back to the last time you were completely debt-free. Can you even think back that far? Right? It was probably just before you earned a salary, while you were still at school asking your parents for money. And so South Africans become indebted, and like I said, for the first time do they only start looking at investment and savings products when they're around their 50s. And as you go through life and you start gaining more accountability, you're starting a family, you're looking at trying to buy a house, or you're renting a bigger house for your family, you've got kids to send to school, and you have more accountability that starts to add up in your life. And what you start to realize, at least for me, I've just turned 40, what I've started to realize is that through your 20s, you don't really think about these things. I don't know why they don't teach financial education at school. I probably think it's probably one of the most important subjects in life. But no one mentions personal finance or any information around personal finance to you. You go to guidance classes where they give you aptitude tests so you can try to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. But what they should be doing is teaching you personal finance. And then you go through your 20s, pretty unaware, and then through my 30s at least, I started to become a lot more aware of my personal circumstance and my personal outlook. Because you've got this thing bearing down on you called retirement. In your 40s, it becomes very real. At least it did for me, right? At the end of last year, Tim sent me some data. It was actually an article published in the Fin24 website. This article was predicated on the fact that that there's a rising mortality rate, obviously. So currently, the current mortality rate for women is about 74 in South Africa. So the average person dying today is 74 years of age, women at least. Men die a little sooner, more stress from the women probably. But the mortality rate is increasing, right, year on year. So everyone in this room, no one looks like they're on their deathbeds. So the people in this room are going to certainly live past 74. Kids being born today, they reckon their mortality rate will be in their 90s, perhaps even in triple digits, around 100. So this is what the data is predicated on, because it has a direct consequence on what your financial planning looks like from a retirement point of view. Because in the old days, if you were only going to live to 74 and you were retiring at 60, you only had to plan retirement for 14 years, right? But now, the people in the room are going to be dying at 80, 90. Our retirement planning has to obviously become updated because of that, because now you're living for 20, 30 years. So this data is predicated on you lasting for 30 years after retirement. So look at the three columns at the top. They're headed by a figure. The figure represents the income that you'll derive out of an investment that you've made, right? So look at the first column. 5,000 Rand a month will be paid out if you have a 1 million Rand investment sitting somewhere. And the interest out of that will pay you that amount, and that amount will actually eat into the capital amount over the 30 years. So if you retire at 60 and you've got 1 million Rand in your bank, it'll pay you out that figure, but it'll run out when you get to 90. So you can't afford to live to 91. You're in trouble at 91. This is what retirement planning looks like. If you're around the age of 20 to 25, you certainly have time on your side to engage in responsible retirement planning. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So this gives you an idea of what you need to do. So if you're around 20 to 25, you can start saving 800 Rand a month for the next 40 years. If you can do that, you'll be in a position where you've saved 1 million Rand. But bear in mind, this contribution needs to increase in line with inflation. So this 800 Rand has to go up every year about 7, 8%. Okay? And then it'll put you into this position so that you can retire financially independent on 5,000 Rand a month and really enjoy your golden years on the 5,000 Rand a month. Right? Certainly not a dignified income to earn once you're retired. So look at the second column. 26,000 Rand a month, a lot more dignified, good golden years. You need to have saved 5 million Rand by that stage. You want to start doing that from an early age? You only have to save 4,000 Rand a month for the next 40 years uninterrupted with an annual contribution increase of 7, 8%, whatever inflation is sitting at. Do you think anyone does this in South Africa? Do you want to know how many people actually retire financially independent? So they get to retirement, they're financially independent. 2% of South Africa. The rest of us, there's probably about 60, 70 people in the room. There's one, maybe two people in this entire room that will get to retirement financially independent. The rest of us will be deemed financially dependent. Dependent on who? Yeah, your kids, right? That's the outlook often. That's the outlook. I posted a picture of my daughter on Facebook this week. She was reading Investor News. She's only 4. She wasn't reading it. She just had the magazine up. It was a cute photo. I took a photo. I said, my retirement plan. Because I'm also wishing my daughter becomes a billionaire and can support me, right? And this is what we all do. So you've got 98% of the population reaching retirement, financially dependent, becoming a financial burden to their families, to their children. We've got this debt cycle that jumps generation to generation. There's lots of research that shows that it is extremely difficult for people to jump certain classes because there's this debt cycle that keeps everyone in, not just the person, but the entire generation to generation, keep them in the social class, the social construct, and it's very hard to get out of it because we find ourselves in this debt cycle that we can't break out of. So out of all the misery that we've kind of discussed, as an enterprise, as a business, we decided to come up with a solution. We built a system called the DuePoint system, and it is an opportunity for the average South African to break out of this debt cycle that we all find ourselves in. We've got 3 aspirations for the people that join this business. Number 1 is for you to become debt-free, completely debt-free. I know that might sound like a very novel idea, but that's certainly one of the primary goals for us here at DuePoint, to see you become debt-free. You have paid your house off. You're not paying your house off for 20 years. You own the car that you drive. There's no debit order at the end of the month. You don't have educational loans and personal loans and credit cards. You pay for your kids' education a year up front. All the money that arrives in your bank account at the end of the month stays there until you decide what to do with it. What happens currently? The money goes in, and you hope there's money left over after the debit orders have all gone off, right? 50% of South Africans are under debt review currently. Think about that. Half the population that has got debt is under debt review. It means they haven't been able to keep up with their debt commitments for longer than 3 months. That's 50%. The statistics are frightening. So we want to see you become debt-free. The second aspiration is to see the people in this business start contributing to a true investment, something that they can work towards and depend on in the long term. In the long term. We sometimes make the mistake of thinking, oh, if I can just pay my house off, I'll be in a great position. You buy a house, don't rent a house, buy the house, and if you can pay the house off, you'll be fine. How is a house an investment? You're living in your investment. What are you going to do when you retire? Sell the house and move in with your kids. Then you can realize the house as an investment. It's not a true investment. We want to see the people in this business start contributing to a true investment. And then our third aspiration is to see everyone happier. Because that's why you're here, right? Someone's alluded to this financial opportunity, and your hope, your expectation was to change your situation. In terms of changing your situation, it's for you to be happier. Happier at the end of the month, happier by the end of the year, stress-free. And that's the ultimate goal here. That's the ultimate goal. So those are our 3 goals for our wealth engineers. How does this work? How do you get involved? If you become what we call a wealth engineer this evening, what actually happens is you contract with DuePoint. We call you a wealth engineer, and we expect only one thing from you, and that is for you to go out and build what we call channels of distribution, and I'll show you what one of those look like. And through these channels of distribution, which are really you introducing people to DuePoint, we will attempt to place product with those individuals, and if we're successful in that, that's where your success is derived from. That's where you'll derive an income from. So the benefit obviously is an additional income stream for yourself. This is the only way you're going to pay your debt off any quicker than you currently are. It's the only way to break out of the debt cycle that you're in. The nature of our business allows you to create recurring income. Now, this is one of the benefits of most insurance companies, is they create these books which have asset value, and the asset value pays out a recurring income. You get to enjoy the benefits of that because of the way we've built the system. This is the primary reason I left my business. We were very much a service-based business, a digital agency. We've got account managers, sales staff, we've got designers, we've got developers, and a couple of admin staff. And every month, the salespeople would bring business in. The work would be produced, the work will be invoiced, and at the end of the month, we'd have to start all over again. And I did that for 17 years. Started from 0 at the beginning on every single month. And I realized this was not the way to do business. It wasn't. My father even warned me when I was a young boy. He said, get involved in a business that pays you when you're sleeping. I had no idea what he meant. Thought he wanted me to become a stockbroker. But it took me about a decade to realize that I was going to have to do this business and the work I was doing in that company for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. In this business, you get to enjoy this recurring income. If you don't understand what recurring income is, it's you going out and building an asset. The asset does not reset to 0 at the end of every month. You get to build on that asset, and that asset will pay you out an income every single month. You can be in the position, if you've created a sustainable business with DuePoint, in 5 years' time where you can take 6 months off, and you'll still get paid every single month. Right? Flies in the face of employment. Because employment is completely different. I take 6 months of leave at work. Your boss will print out a resignation letter for you and say, just sign here, and then you can take your 6 months leave. You get to harness the power of duplication. This is leverage. How does the CEO make so much money, pay himself the biggest bonus? It's because he's leveraging all the staff that work for him. So in this business, we've built the system so that you can derive the same benefit. These channels of distribution that I speak about are your ability to actually build teams. And within those teams, you'll collaborate together. And instead of just spending or contributing your personal time to the business, when you've got 10 or 20 people in this channel of distribution, what's actually happening is they're all investing time into your business, into your asset that will grow, that will pay you out a greater recurring income. This business is also flexi time. Now, this is a double-edged sword. Initially, when I started giving this presentation, I thought, oh, great, flexi time business. You can do it whenever you want to. But I realized the other side of the sword after 2 years of seeing people get involved in this business is that they don't realize that to be successful in this business, you have to sacrifice time. It's not about doing it when you feel like it. Anyone can join this business, granted. But to be successful at it is a whole nother story altogether. Think about your last New Year's resolution, the desire to lose weight or stop smoking or stop drinking or whatever it was, right? How long did that last? You have to sacrifice time in this business if you want to be successful at it. So even though it might say flexi time up here, by the end of this presentation, if you're interested in this business, already in your head have decided when you're going to do the business. Is it going to be every Thursday night? Is it going to be weekends? Is it going to be every weeknight? It is up to you. The accountability lies completely with you. There's no startup capital. There's no registration fees. There aren't boxes of products that you have to buy to get involved in this business and to get going. So it's a very low-risk opportunity. There's no qualifications or experience required. We're obviously a financial services business. We have to comply with all the FSB regulation. We actually contract you out of any of that obligation. So you can enjoy the benefits of financial services, but you don't have to worry about the compliance. You get to build an asset. Now, this is a very important point, because if I propose to you that you need to sacrifice time to make this business work, at least know that the time that you contribute into this business, you're building an asset that you have ownership over. So the time you're contributing to this asset, you have ownership over. What does that mean? That means you can sell the business. You can give it to your kids when you get too old. If you die, you can cede it to your beneficiaries. You can move it into a family trust. Again, this is the complete antithesis to employment, because we will spend 40, 45 years working for somebody else, another company, a lifetime, where we've got no ownership, no dividend check, no control over the business, no profit share. So you have legal tender over this business. There is no selling involved. Now, this should make everybody very happy, because I bet you the first thing you asked the person that invited you here to this company, you said, what are we selling? What are we selling? What are the products? Tell me about the products, right? We contract you out of selling. There's no selling that happens here. The only thing you're going to be doing is telling people about the business opportunity. It is the most valuable commodity in South Africa at the moment. Economic opportunity. And that's what you're going to be speaking to people about. The nature of our business, obviously because it's financial, means the products are intangible. So like I said, there's no boxes of products that you have to buy. If you arrived here thinking, I'm getting involved in this business, I'm going to kill it, you brought your uncle's bakkie because you're expecting to load a ton of vitamins on the back, don't have to worry about it. There's no stock issues here. Our product doesn't expire. We make this business as convenient and as easy as possible to get involved with as we can. And this is all determined by you going out and building these channels of distribution. So what does a channel of distribution look like? It begins with you. You go out, you tell people about the business opportunity, introduce those people to DuePoint, and if we're able to place a product with those individuals, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution. The people that you bring into this business will do the same thing that you've done. They also want to change their situation. They also want to break out of this debt cycle. They want to pay their debt off as quickly as possible. And so they'll go out and tell other people about the DuePoint system. And so you have this organic growth that's able to take place in your business. This is leverage. This is the power of duplication. How much effort did it take to bring 5 people into this business? And look what the potential growth is. You don't know anyone outside of those 5 people. This is what your channel of distribution can look like. After a month, there will be more dots. You're getting paid a recurring income for every single dot that you see on the screen. But I'll warn you, and I'll excuse you only once, if you arrive to this presentation thinking, I've been invited to one of those schemes. Do you know those schemes I'm talking about? Everyone seems to know about these schemes I'm talking about. We're not one of them. We're nearly a 70-year-old insurance company. We do not smell anything like one of those schemes that you might have been exposed to in the past. At the same time, I will never promise you success easily in this business. On the benefits slide, on the previous slide, I said to you, yes, we make everything as easy and as convenient to get involved with. You can become a wealth engineer very easily, but to be successful is a whole nother story. It is not easy. Anyone that promises you success and money easily is lying to you. Lying to you. It does not exist. It doesn't. So if you're willing to do this business long term, if you're willing to sacrifice the time that's required, get through the frustration, if you're open to personal development, yes, then I can say to you, for sure, there's success in this business waiting for you. So this is my warning slide. So let's talk about the money. How do we pay our wealth engineers? So we pay our wealth engineers something called a return at the end of every month. The return is based on the number of products you have in your channel of distribution. We pay a base return fee of 27 Rand 50 for every single product in your channel, okay? And that's determined on where it lies in the channel. So those are the first 5 people that you introduce to the business. Those people lie on point 1. They are 1 point away from you. And on point 1, we actually pay you double the 27 Rand 50. Remember, it's recurring income. So it's 55 Rand for every product every month going forward. On point 2, it's the same thing. Point 3, point 4, all the way down to point 8, you see the multiplier starts to drop at 4% on point 8. What's important to note is that from point 8 onwards into infinity, in theory, we will keep paying you 4% of the 27 Rand 50. We will not limit you on how large your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. The accountability, again, lies with you. So this is the mechanics of the returns. I think that's fairly straightforward. The next natural question is, well, how much money can I earn after a certain amount of time? You know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you talk long term, after 5 years, what can we expect in this business? So the clever accountants, they built this thing called the path to success. It depends on you being able to go out and follow this growth model. The growth model is what we call 3 plus 2. It assumes that a new wealth engineer can bring in 3 new people into this business in the first month. And then every consecutive month, you only have to bring in another 2 new people, right? So we call it 3 plus 2. 3 in the first month and 2 every month into perpetuity. 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, okay? If you can do that, if you can follow that growth model, these are the numbers you can expect. So after 6 months, you could be earning 2,500 Rand. Sound good? No one's walked out. No one's jumping for joy. 2,500 Rand, too little for 6 months worth of work? My wife's a labor litigator. She briefs other lawyers that make that in 30 minutes. So maybe it is too little. But let me give you some context around money, because I know that everyone in this room has got debt. So let's look at it from a debt point of view. Little 2,500 Rand that you can turn your nose up to so easily. Here's an example of someone with a 1 million Rand bond. Right? They joined DuePoint after some success. 6 months later, they were earning 2,500 Rand a month. They found a house. For 1 million Rand, they got into agreement with a bank. The bank said, 20-year term, you're going to be paying us back at the current interest rate, probably between 11 and 11,500 Rand a month for the next 20 years. So if you're in your 30s and you're privileged enough to be able to afford a bond, you'll be paying off that house for the next 20 years. You'll become a homeowner when you're 50-something, right? We'll appreciate the bond. You're earning 2,500 Rand now as an additional income. What do you do with it? Pair of Nikes, handbag, nice lunch. You put it into your bond. Remember, our first aspiration for our wealth engineers is to see you become debt-free. Put it into the debt that you have. If you put that 2,500 Rand as an additional payment into a 1 million Rand bond, you'll reduce the term from 20 years down to 11 and a half years. You have nearly halved the term of your bond. You're now becoming a homeowner when you're in your 40s, not your 50s. You now have nearly 10 years more to contribute all that money into your retirement savings, right? How much money do you think you actually save with that 2,500 Rand? I'll ask every audience. None of the guests can. Any accountants in the room? half the money, half the value of the asset. It's going to save you 100% of the asset value. That little 2,500 rand that we all went, for, will save you 1,000,000 rand in repayments in the long term. Crazy, right? I didn't believe the accountants when they came up with the example. I was like, how can 2,500 rand save you 100% of the property asset? I went and did some research. They were right. You need to start thinking about money differently, long-term, debt differently. After 12 months, you could be earning in excess of 100,000 rand annually in recurring income. After 24 months, now maybe you'll get excited, 30,000 rand a month. Sound better? You're all wondering what you can do with 30,000 rand a month. Right? Doesn't matter how much you earn. You could be earning 200,000 rand a month. You earn an extra 30,000 rand a month. I promise you it makes a significant difference to your life. After 36 months, you're close to 50,000 rand a month. You want to look at a bigger example? 5 million rand bond, because you're a high flyer now. 30 months later, you're probably earning about 36,000 rand. You can put that as an additional payment into your bond payments. You'll pay that 5 million rand house off in less than 7 years. So I like this example because I start dreaming. My imagination starts running around. I'm 40. In 21 years, I can do this example 3 times over. At the age of 47, I can pay my first house off. 5 million rand house, paid off, 47. At the age of 54, I'll have paid off my second 5 million rand house. At the age of 61, I've paid off my third 5 million rand house. That's how property is an investment for you. When you're living in the one house and you're renting the other 2 out for 60, 70,000 rand a month, do you think my retirement looks better than just waiting to pay that house off after 20 years? Because if I didn't do this, I'd be 60 with one 5 million rand house. I'll be part of the 98%. This business, this system is about creating options for you. Options. After 48 months, you're close to about 70,000 rand a month. And after 60 months, you've created for yourself about 1,000,000 rand in recurring income. At what stage in this path to success can you tell your boss what you really think about him? Maybe you got a nice boss. I don't know. We talk about options, about empowerment. You don't have the option to tell your boss what you think about him. But this is all academic. This is what the accountants created. 3 plus 2, remember the example of 3 plus 2? You think you can do 3 plus 2 for 60 months continuously? Like I said, very easy to become a wealth engineer. You can be part of the 0 plus 0 club, which is a fairly big club at DuePoint, because you can do less than 3 plus 2. The accountability lies with you. I don't phone anyone who's not doing this business. I promise you that. It's completely up to you. But we've got wealth engineers that are doing way more than 3 plus 2 because they decide to. So here's Denzel. He joined at the end of August. In the space of 6 months, he got to almost 2,500 rand. So he tracked 3 plus 2 fairly closely, right? But look what he did in a single month. Sorry, that should be 2017. Look what he did in a single month. In employment, we're lucky to get an 8% increase annually. Anyone get an 8%, 7, 8% increase for the last 5 years running? Not one person. Your salary has devalued. Do you realize that? Your salary has gone backwards. Denzel gave himself a 100% increase in his income in the space of 30 days. I always challenge the people. I say, go speak to your boss tomorrow and say you want a 100% increase, please. See what he says. No one's come back to me and tell me. And he doubled it again the next month. You can go watch his testimony on YouTube. It's up there. He tells his story. He said he got involved. He was quite excited, but he didn't understand the gravity of this business. He didn't understand the effect that this business could have on his life. It took him nearly 6 months to realize what he could be doing in this business. And so he did realize that. And at the beginning of the year, he got way more involved. Started sacrificing a lot more time. And he's here almost every single night. He has control over his income. He's not waiting for the economy to change. He's not waiting for the promotion at work. He's not begging for the 8% at the end of the financial year. Nonkobela in the East London, Eastern Cape, joined at the beginning of 2016, and after a year got to 3,600 Rand. I think she was on zero by December 2016. She joined the business and didn't do anything. Not a thing. Fortunately for her, she knew someone that was having great success in the business. And after a year, she contacted this person and said, "What is going on? Can you please tell me how this DuePoint system works?" And she got stuck in. And now she's fully engaged in the system. So, little lady, owns her own business, very softly spoken. You would think in a business like this, you'd need to be outspoken, extroverted to be successful. She's one of the most tenacious wealth engineers we have in this business. She'll put 40 people into the business on her own in 30 days. But if you go watch her testimony, she'll admit that she wasn't doing the business properly in the first year, in 2016. Only again at the beginning of the year did she realize that instead of just bringing anyone that was looking for business opportunity to come join the business, she started looking at quality, resourceful people that she could depend on. And that has built a more sustainable business for her. We are paying hundreds of wealth engineers every single month that have created an additional income stream for themselves. These are not special individuals. We've got people with matric, without matric, people with corporate backgrounds, people without corporate backgrounds, people with degrees, people without degrees. This business is for all of us. It is equal opportunity, probably for the first time in our lives. Again, accountability lies with you. So that's the returns. That's what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. Over and above that, we've got a rewards program. So this is called the XP Rewards Program. If you become a wealth engineer, you will typically start engaging in wealth engineer behavior, like speaking to people about the opportunity, coming to presentations, watching the live stream, watching training seminars, logging into the dashboard. And when you do these things, we give you something called XP. It stands for experience points. And the more active you are, the more XP you will start to gain. And when your business starts to grow, you will start to get rewarded in our XP Rewards program. Remember, over and above the returns that we pay you. So this is the XP Rewards table. If you join this evening, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer, right? Because you're still the 0 plus 0 club. But very quickly, you can get to rank 1. You only need 1,000 XP, and you need 4 products in your qualified channel. And you'll be earning a return, but through the rewards program, we'll give you an extra 55 Rand. Can you get excited about 55 Rand? Nah. But as you start to rank up, the rewards get bigger and better. So you see 100 Rand, 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. We give our wealth engineers tools that help them be more effective at growing their channel of distribution. So here's Patrick and Pumi with their lightning memory stick. It's an awesome little device that plugs into anything. Cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs, Android, Apple, Banana, it doesn't matter what the device is. More importantly, we've got our video collateral on that little device. So Patrick and Pumi can show people what DuePoint's all about regardless of what device they have in place. At rank 7, this is Donnie with his rank 7 cards. He's here this evening. You can ask him if he'll show them to you. These cards actually cost us for one set just over 20,000 Rand to produce, but we try to get 2 sets produced at the same time, and it reduces the cost to 12,500 Rand. Why would we spend a fortune on business cards? Because this business is all about first impressions and credibility. No one has heard of DuePoint outside of this building. Nobody. So when you go speak to someone about this business called DuePoint, you might not have very much credibility. But when you put a business card in their hand that is 50 times more expensive than the one they've got in their wallet, guess who's got more credibility all of a sudden? These are tools to help you be more effective in this business. Rank 9. This is one of the rewards that is not a once-off reward. This is a recurring reward. When you get to rank 9 and above, you will enjoy this international conference with DuePoint every single year going forward. It is an all-expenses-paid trip for 7 days to a 5-star luxury resort, business class flights for you and your family every single year. Think about that. You don't have to have a family meeting at the end of the year to decide where you're going on holiday. I tease my wife. I always say, Umhlanga Rocks is exactly the same as Mauritius. It's the beach, waves, I don't know what you want. But take a look at where we're going at the end of this year.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun, where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Does it look okay? Up to everyone's standard? Go Google Turtle Bay, the Western Mauritius. That's where we're going. We already have 3 families that have qualified for rank 9 in the last 6 months. One gentleman did it from 0 to rank 9 in 5 months. There's no time limit on it. You can take as long as you want to get to rank 9. If you can get excited about the 55 Rand at rank 1 and get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. The behavior is exactly the same. The activity is exactly the same. Guess what happens at rank 11? So this was in our parking lot. You can see that. 4 weeks ago, we give our rank 11 wealth engineers a brand new car. We buy it cash and give it to the wealth engineer. We are serious about seeing you become debt-free. Car with no debit order at the end of the month. This is just rank 11. The table went up to rank 20. We've already planned for rank 28 behind the scenes. Are you looking at this business long term, or are you looking at this business short term? Another benefit is a wealth quest that we do every single month. So this is to have a little bit of fun. It's really to incentivize our wealth engineers. And every month we issue them with a challenge. The challenge is called the Wealth Quest. This month's called You're in the Army Now, even though the month's almost over. And what we challenged you with was, if you could rank up in the XP Rewards program, this month we would reward you with 60 gigs of data. That's 10 gigs for the next 6 months. Okay, the next Wealth Quest will be announced on the 1st of July, so look out for that one. Another incentive that we're running at the same time is called the Winter Solstice XP Challenge. 1,000 XP is on offer every single day. If you're able to get someone to join your business, there's 1,000 XP on offer every single day. You want to get to rank 1, you can do it in a single day by adding one person and getting that 1,000 XP. Okay. We get the question, how does this business work? We get questioned, are you sure your business model is right? You seem to be paying a lot of money out to your wealth engineers. The Western Turtle Bay is very expensive. Go look at the pricing per room. So we get questioned around the business model. This explains our business model. Traditional business model on the left. A lot of insurance companies will engage in normal channels, typical channels of marketing. They will spend a lot of money for client acquisition. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building because we don't do any marketing or advertising. So we don't spend a cent on marketing and advertising. We rely on our wealth engineers to go tell people about DuePoint. And so instead of spending the billions that the insurance industry spends on client acquisition, we take that portion of our premium and we pay it out in the form of returns and rewards to you, to our wealth engineers. And that's basically how the business model works. You might be wondering what on earth the products are because we haven't spoken about them yet. Because this is about business opportunity, not so much the products. But we've got 3 products. You are free to choose one or all 3 products. They've got very different benefits. The first product is an investment product. It is called Access Wealth. It is 299 Rand per month, of which 100 Rand gets invested in your name into a tax-free investment fund that sits with Sanlam. It's not a notice or a fixed deposit. You can draw your investment out at any stage. It takes about 72 hours to draw out. On top of that, we give you a little bit of insurance. We give you 110,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover with this investment product. So this is product number 1, Access Wealth. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. This is purely an insurance product. So for 274 Rand a month, you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover is that it becomes accessible to anyone over the age of 18 because we don't profile you from a risk point of view, a health risk point of view, like typical comprehensive life insurance does. So you can be 70 years old, you can be diabetic, you can still take this product out. The premium will remain the same amount of cover applies to you. Product number 3 is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. This product aims to save us money on the money that we spend every month anyway. So for 274 Rand a month, you get to enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated with our partners there. You'll see probably the most popular one is ShopRite Checkers because I know we spend an absolute fortune on groceries every month. We've got ShopRite Checkers as a partner. You'll get 2.5% off your entire trolley at ShopRite Checkers. The Entertainer is a very popular one too because we have over 1 million Rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers through the Entertainer. It gives you access to restaurants around the country, hotels around the world, spas, live events, all kinds of things. Eagle Ford is a new partner. We've already sold a couple of cars to wealth engineers through Eagle Ford, and we're adding on Always On, which is a data supplier where we've negotiated data at 33% of the normal cost for people on this program. So if you're looking for immediate benefit out of any of the products, this is a great product to have. So those are the products. If you have any questions around them, come speak to me afterwards. I remind you of the support that you get here as a wealth engineer. I said to you at the beginning of the presentation, it's in our mandate to see our wealth engineers be as effective as possible. So lean into the support. We've got a live stream that gets broadcast to the entire country, every single presentation, every training, every event that we do, all the time. Use it to increase your channel of distribution outside of Johannesburg, outside of head office. The facilities are built for our wealth engineers. You're free to do your own presentations here. We've got many wealth engineers that come have meetings in the boardrooms. We've got free Wi-Fi, the free tea and coffee. The facilities are for you. Make use of them. And Brendan and myself will give you our time. If you've built a small team, we will sit down with your team and strategize your success with you. So lean into that support. The big decision slide. So what is the decision? I touched on it at the beginning of the presentation. There will be people that are interested in this business opportunity and the people that aren't. For the people that are interested in this, I hope that you've somehow come to a decision as to how this business is going to fit into your life. Because you can only be successful if you do that. You have to decide, is this something I can do on the weekends? Does this become a Tuesday and Thursday night regular occurrence? It is the only way you're going to have success in this business. We cannot wait for the economy to change, for our situation to change. For me personally, the last 20 years have flown by. If you had asked me what I was going to be when I was 18 years old, I said at the age of 25, I'll definitely be driving a Ferrari. Right? We all had the same dreams and aspirations. Go speak to any teenager. And then if you're in a similar age group to me, you realize that life kicks you in the shin a number of times. It's not as rosy as you think. It's easy to blame everyone else. Oh, but the economy this. Oh, but the government that. Oh, but my employer this. You have to start taking accountability for your own income in this country at the moment. It would be great if we didn't have to. You wouldn't be here on a Thursday night. You could be at home watching Generations. But we're here because we want to change our financial position. And this is the opportunity to do that. Those wealth engineers that we showcased, they sat in exactly the same seats as you. They had to get to rank 1 first. The opportunity is equal for all of us. We all have the same opportunity to empower ourselves, but it requires sacrifice. It requires time. If you have any questions around how this business works, come speak to me afterwards. We make joining very easy. Like I said, we've got free Wi-Fi. If you've got your own smartphone or tablet on you, jump onto our homepage, www.duepoint.net. Click on the big blue apply button. You can become a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. In 10 minutes' time, you can start phoning people and telling them about this opportunity. Get to rank 1 by tomorrow. That's how quickly you can derive benefit out of this business. We've got merchandise. This is not a profit center for us. We've got business cards. This is, like I said, very much a business around that relies on credibility and first impressions. Have business cards. You cannot propose some awesome business opportunity and the person says, do you have a business card? And you say no. So please consider getting business cards. The pricing is all on the counter. All the merchandise is on display in the cabinet. The USB sticks are very convenient because we've got all our videos on the USB sticks. And nowadays you can plug them into TVs, give them to a friend. They can watch the videos at their leisure. We've got a YouTube channel. All the videos that we produce are on the YouTube channel. So subscribe to it. It'll tell you every time we post up a new video. It'll tell you when we're about to have a live event. When you become a wealth engineer, download the mobile app. You can run your business from the palm of your hand. That mobile app tells you in real time what is happening in your business. And we're done, guys. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday evening, an even better Friday, and I look forward to seeing more of these faces. Thank you.